Good morning everyone. Today we're going to do a quick video and we're going to look at how to install VS Code, and we're going to look at actually how to set that up so it connects to Azure so we can control Azure from our Visual Studio Code. So let's come straight over here into our Windows machine, and if we go to code.visualstudio.com, we could download Visual Studio Code here from the web browser, but there's a better way that we want to do it, and that's through something called Winget. So if we go to our search bar on Windows 11 and search for PowerShell, we can right click on this, run this as administrator. And what you should have built into your Windows 11 today is a piece of software called Winget. If you use Winget, this is going to allow us to go and search for software packages and actually install those software packages. So if we do a Winget search VS Code, we should find a bunch of results here for that search term. Notice we have here Microsoft Visual Studio Code, and we have this ID of Microsoft.Visual Studio Code. If I now do Winget install Microsoft.Visual Studio Code, this will automatically download Visual Studio Code for me and install it onto my system. So let's wait for that to actually complete. Okay, our Visual Studio Code is now installed, and we can go and launch that from the start structure if we want to. Or what you can also do is, if you are in a shell or in a terminal, you can just type code and that will launch VS Code for us. So now Visual Studio Code is installed. This thing doesn't do that much out of the box. Visual Studio Code relies on us to use a lot of extensions to actually get things working correctly. And if we go into extensions over here, this will link us to the extensions marketplace, where there will be thousands and thousands of different things that we can actually add in here into VS Code. So if we go and search for Azure within the extensions place, you'll notice there is something here called Azure Tools. Now Azure Tools is actually a collection of a number of different extensions that we need to be able to control various aspects of Azure within VS Code. So let's click install and install those Azure Tools for us. So now those Azure Tools are installed, we can actually see here on the left hand side there is an Azure section, and we can use this to go and connect to our Azure environment. There is also something else I need to do in advance of that. What we also need to do is install the latest versions of PowerShell, and we also need to install the latest versions of the Azure CLI for this to work effectively. So let's go do that now. If I go back to PowerShell, right click and run this as administrator, we can do this through Winget again. So if we do Winget search PowerShell, you should be able to see up here there is PowerShell, and there is actually, here we go, Microsoft.PowerShell. That's the one we want. So now if we do Winget install Microsoft.PowerShell, that will install the latest version 7 of PowerShell for me to use. It's actually version 7.5, so let's wait for that to install. So now PowerShell is successfully installed. We also need to install the Azure CLI. So again, if we do Winget search Azure CLI, and we can see there is one package here called Microsoft.AzureCLI, and we will again do a Winget install Microsoft.AzureCLI. Oops. And it would also help if I could spell. So let's wait for that to also install. Now if we are in our existing PowerShell session here, or PowerShell shell, and I run ps version table, this is the default version of PowerShell that is installed on Windows 11, and it's version 5.1. We've now just installed version 7, so we need to actually go and launch a different shell. So if we search for PowerShell now, you'll notice there is a PowerShell 7 here. All the Azure control tools now run within PowerShell 7, not through PowerShell version 5.1. If we do get-module, you'll see the installed modules on this PowerShell 7 at the moment. If we do get-module list available, we will be able to see all the modules that are available to me on this machine. There are no Azure modules installed by default, so I need to install the Azure PowerShell modules as well, just to make sure that things will actually work correctly. So if I want to install the Azure PowerShell modules, I need to install install-module-name az, and I'm going to put a verbose on the end of this. what that will do as a verbose is give me this output here in yellow. If I did not actually have that verbose switch on the end, what would actually happen here is my PowerShell terminal would actually kind of lock up, and I wouldn't be able to see the outputs of what was downloading and installing. As we can see, this is downloading and installing all of the available PowerShell modules existing on the PowerShell gallery. So let's wait for that to complete. This could take a few minutes. Okay, those PowerShell modules are now installed, and as you can see there are quite a few of them. We can now go back to our VS Code environment. So actually we'll just type code to launch that. What we can do now is we can click on Azure in the left hand side here, and we can actually go and connect to our Azure environment. So if we click sign into Azure from the top, what it's going to do is it's going to actually bounce me out a sign in box where I can actually sign in to my Azure environment. And do I want to automatically sign into all desktop apps? No, I just want to sign into this app here, this Visual Studio Code, and now I am bounced in here. And I have access to both of my Visual Studio subscriptions, and I can actually manipulate resources. So let's test that this works by deploying a very quick app service. So if I right click on app services here, I can go to create new web app, and this will give me a wizard to work through. So the name for the web app is going to be Mike Test App. And the runtime stack will set this to .NET 9 STS. This will leave it on the basic tier for development and testing, and this is now actually going to deploy a web app directly to Azure without leaving VS Code. Let's wait for this to deploy, and then let's test it. So our web app is now deployed, and we can test that deployment just by opening up app services here. If we go and have a look at the properties of this app service, here is the hostname miketestapp.azurewebsites.net. If we go and grab that, pop this into our web browser, and we should be able to see we have our web app is running. Just to prove this is our web app, we can also interact with this directly through this VS Code. If I go into files and hosting start, for example, we can even edit this directly within VS Code. So if I change this around to HTML, and we'll just add a very quick body component, and we will just say hello from VS Code demo. And if we save this, we'll be asked to upload the file. So let's upload the file directly to the web server. Once that is uploaded, we can go back to our app services website, refresh this, and we can see we've got hello from VS Code demo. So that kind of concludes how to install VS Code and get it configured to connect to Azure and actually deploy a service inside VS Code. And you know the routine, hashtag like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed this video and will join me next time. Goodbye.